Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our cheddar stack just like a mountain. You heard about it, she running her mouth. She wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited.
What is the difference between being frugal and being a cheapskate?
Perspective.
Chewy, can you help me with this one? You've been around a lot of cheapskates.
And I know
who
frugal
think
people.
who think they're frugal, but we know they're
Yes.
cheapskates.
I think cheap takes it to another level. Frugal, you're frugal, right?
So, all right, let me put
I
this.
love when he uses the word to define the word.
Frugal, you're frugal.
I think, to use an example of someone we know, I think Homer is frugal. Doesn't like spending his money,
Yes.
but he will. Like, he spends money
fair.
on charities. He's frugal. The way you describe your boy Brett, he's cheap.
Yeah.
Like, kind of searching for your wallet when it's your turn to
Hold
buy
on,
a
let me ask you this,
round.
though. Does it have anything to do with your means? Right?
Like how much you could afford or
Like
how much
Brett's
you could spend.
Worth a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And he's tighter than 2 coats of paint. That's cheap.
But so also, I refuse because everyone's got them. I've heard Don Beebe tell them. I've heard you tell them. Doug Peterson, stories of Brett not paying his golf bets.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. Like, you just, anybody, you pay your golf bet, but he's not paying his golf bet because he's cheap.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would say. Yeah, I mean.
Or dishonorable.
There is that.
There's a lot of other examples to get to that.
Because there are people who might not be able to afford, but they still pay it because in their mind, when you have a debt, you pay your debt. When you make a bet and you lose, you pay off the bet. I ask this because Joshy brought this story to our attention, and it's just wild. It's a gentleman who posted a picture of himself. So congratulations on tattling on yourself also, by the way, buddy. Wingstop wings and fries are solid. The bill was $15.08. I gave him 15 and said, "We good?" He barked at me, $15.08. They don't realize they get a lot of goodwill by eating the 8 cents. No.
You know what the funny thing is?
What?
How you started the show. I've got a buddy in Florida who lives in Atlanta that owns 400 Wingstops. He's a franchise guy.
Sure.
And he is the cheapest MFer I've ever met in my entire life.
Notice you didn't say frugal.
Not frugal.
Yeah, I don't think you can own 400 franchises.
Not frugal. And he's got the biggest alligator arms I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. So it's one thing to be frugal or make financially sound decisions or financially challenging decisions. This is a guy who went into Wingstop and purchased wings and fries. And the bill came to $15.08. And he thought, I don't know what we were, Wild Wild West, old timey, hey, I'll trade you this wooden nickel for some French fries. $15.08 was the bill, and he thought if he slid a 10 and a 5er across the counter, they would be square. There's so many layers to this that to me are just like, what? The kid or whoever it is working the counter doesn't have the authority to make that decision,
No.
even if he wanted to. Even if he wanted to be like, yeah, you know, it's close enough. I'll dig 8 cents in change out of my pocket. Like, how does somebody reach this level of emboldenedness?
I guarantee the guy's loaded and he is cheap.
Well, I can
He's
tell
just cheap. Why wouldn't you give him 16 and say, here you go?
I could tell you a little history about the fella. He is a gambling tout. Now, you can make your own decisions on how those people represent themselves, how honest they typically are. There are some more than others, but a lot of those guys, especially the ones who exist solely on the internet, aren't the most savory of characters. And this is a classic, like, you help me, I help you type scenario, but it's not a mom and pop shop. Like, it is a massive franchise. They have thousands of Wingstops. The person there can't make any decision. If I, at the end of the shift at Wingstop, am 8 cents short, guess whose pocket the 8 cents comes
Yeah.
out of?
Or guess who's fired?
Right,
Right?
mine.
The other thing that I thought of, Gabe, was this is one guy. You know how many customers Wingstop services over the course of a year?
Just eat 8 cents from all of them.
Millions and
Yeah.
millions of people. Now, I don't know how many are frequenting this specific Wingstop, but to sit there and think that my 8 cents is not potentially duplicated by every person that walks through is, again, just sort of existing in that vacuum, just like not recognizing once again we live in a society. I'm blown away that somebody, and you mentioned mom and pop shop. I would say at a mom and pop shop, even if they have the authority to do it, that's where you shouldn't do
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah, that's where you're chewing. Just keep the 16. I don't need the change back.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like the places I go where the owner's working, and he goes like, "Give me 15. I don't care. Like I'm still making her money. I'm the one who keeps control of the books. I'll make it work." Like it doesn't make sense at a place like this.
The
But this
minimum
is-
wage
this is-
kid running the cash register at Wingstop.
But this is how entitled people work. You know, they think everyone's there to serve them. And our guy number 4, hey, let me, all his whole life, right? Let me buy you a drink. Hey, let me pick that up, right? Let me get this, and then it gets contagious. And I got to pay for it. What? I have to pay for something. I know a lot of people like that, and I hear a lot of stories.
I'm sure.
so you're not surprised by this. You're not surprised by
No.
this dude who walked into
No,
Wingstop and
not
said,
at all.
"Oh, my bill is $15.08. Here's 15. Call it square." Like,
Yeah.
And things cost what they cost, man. Like, didn't we get rid of the barter system ages ago? I mean, other than your guy, the Blammer, who likes to trade things for corn all the time still, but, you know, that's out in farmland. When you decide to walk into an establishment, you can't just be like, oh, here's 15. The 8 cents is on goodwill.
and I'll do you one better, Joshua. You said that he is a betting guy, right? He makes all these prop bets. He makes all these bets, and he shows how successful he is. His handle is wins. His initials and wins. Let's say you walk up to the sports book and you say, "I won $1,000," and they're like, "Well, you take 998." I guarantee he's gonna be like, "No, I won $1,000." Like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Would that be acceptable for him? Of course not.
No.
Like, again, we go back to this idea of just Chewy. What was the word that you used?
Entitlement?
There it is. Thank you, Joshy. Thanks for saving me because I don't really know what I was
Said a
thinking
lot of
there.
words.
That's what-
I'm like, you want one?
We jumped the gun there. I was waiting to see Chewy's list of words that he has said, or he thought he has said, throughout the course of this segment.
Josh, you saved my butt there. Have you
So
ever experienced something like
So,
this?
but
Is-
all right. Now, what's frugal? Frugal. This is my idea. Of frugal. There are some things, mostly food, that you cannot skimp on. Am I right?
Like,
So
what are you
wait,
talking
when
about?
you
Like, if
when
you're
you
having
hear
people-
frugal, you hear skimp. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. Like if you're having a dinner party. Try not to take anyone out here.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
You can't go to Aldi and buy the meat. I'm sorry. Aldi's a fine store, but you can't go there and buy the meat.
No, you're having people, you're having company over. You got to put your best foot forward.
Am I right?
You got to put your best foot
So
forward.
if you're doing that, are
No,
you-
if you're
are you
having a dinner
frugal?
party, you go to Bunzel's.
There's some certain food you cannot skimp on. You can't.
And meat would be one of them.
Meat would be one.
What else?
Does this ground beef look good to you? Nah, it's close enough.
It's not that great.
Flip it over. Flip it over.
I know what this other one is, wine.
Yeah.
I would, so like I've replaced things in my car that I've never learned, like I had to teach myself how to do via YouTube videos and reading online. I'm saving myself $250. It would be very easy just to go to the shop down the road and do it. But I think, hey, if I give an hour of time and I buy the part online, why would I not save the $250? Where I know many of people just go out and they say, screw it. I don't want to deal with it. I could just have somebody do it and I know it'll be done right. Well, most of the time. But like for me, I'll take that extra step just because it's like, well, I can have $250 in my pocket.
And
if
in
I
your
do it that
mind,
way.
that's you being frugal.
Yes.
Right? I want to be clear.
Yes.
Like produce is another thing. You can't. I mean, lettuce is meant to be green, not yellow. Okay? It really. And I know my certain stores, what their strengths and what their weaknesses is.
Right,
So
but
I
you
have-
also have time to go to multiple
do.
stores. Can you imagine? I got to
Yeah.
swing by
Wait,
this
wait.
place to grab my meat. I got to swing by this place to grab the veggies.
Which I understand, because again, there's like a butcher shop, right? You got different place for your veggies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a discount grocery store in the Milwaukee area that has some of the best produce I've ever seen in my life, and it is so cheap. And you go and it's like in perfect condition, and you're like, I would have never thought, had I just decided to wander in here, that this would be this nice.
See, and I hate the word cheap. And I know you just used it, and I'm not trying to throw stones at you, but like I always say inexpensive. For whatever reason, cheap to me sounds cheap.
Is this like you and the word fat, where you don't like saying the word fat?
Yes, I also don't like saying that word. Now, I have been known to use it occasionally when
But I got
Forget.
a buddy. I got a buddy that buys like he buys $100 bathing suits, right?
Okay.
Which is obnoxious, correct?
That's a weird thing to spend your money
I know.
on.
I got mine on Amazon, $19.99, and I love them.
yeah,
Yeah,
but when
I
you
can't
step
get
into
enough
the
of
salt
them.
water,
See,
do
I
they
don't-
disintegrate?
Yeah. Well, we haven't crossed that bridge yet.
I don't think that's you being frugal. I think that's your buddy being over the top,
Yeah.
right? Like, because spending $20 on a pair of swimming trunks,
Like Gabe.
that seems reasonable.
Gabe, golf shirts?
Yeah.
Now, I know you love robot.
Yeah.
Robot.
Oh, they're expensive.
But you can go on TGW
Yeah.
and get golf shirts for like $20.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're 2 years old, but who cares?
Yeah.
Right?
So I got a couple of definitions here of the word frugal. Value conscious. Frugal people are focused on getting the most value for their money. They consider factors like quality, durability, and long-term cost rather than just the lowest price. Intentional spending. Thoughtful decisions about where to spend their money, prioritizing experiences and things that add value to their life while cutting back on unnecessary expenses. Not wasteful. Frugal individuals are mindful of minimizing waste and making the most of the resources they have. Being frugal does not mean being unwilling to spend money on others or for good causes. Whereas I would argue cheapskate, which is what we started this whole thing
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
If you're a cheapskate, I don't know that you're spending money on others. I don't know if you're
No,
donating
heavens
to
no.
charities and
Another one.
whatnot.
You can't skimp on ketchup.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
1,000,000%.
No way.
1,000%.
Wait, so you're telling
Completely
me
skimp on
you're
ketchup.
telling me that if I walked in here and you could do a blind ketchup taste test, you're going to tell me the
Yes,
difference
all
between
day long. Yes, I could.
Guess what's
between the
happening?
Kroger-
Guess what's happening on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this week?
between
You
the
know
Kroger
why?
brand
This I'll tell
and
you
the
why.
Heinz brand?
Because when you get Heinz and put it in, because we come down here for 3 months.
Yeah.
Ketchup should last 3 months, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I have unnamed buys cheapo.
On
I buy
someone
Heinz.
Who could it possibly
I buy
be?
Heinz. I buy Heinz,
To a
and when I
study.
get back there, Heinz, nice and red. This the other one, the oil's separated, the sugar, and all the sludge goes to the bottom.
So shake it.
No, I put my name on mine. I'm like, no,
you
no,
cross out the Heinz
no.
and put Chewy?
If you want to buy that, you use that.
You got your own
I
ketchup.
will use mine.
Oh, hey, let me just tell you. You may be a, what do they call a sommelier? You may be
Yes.
a ketchup lier. I don't know. But my kids eat more ketchup than anyone in the world. They can't tell the difference.
You shouldn't have to shake ketchup, Gabe. Are you with me?
No, you have to shake every ketchup.
100%.
That's
And
insane.
every condiment. Well, maybe not mayonnaise.
Yeah,
Probably
mayonnaise.
should shake mayonnaise. If you get the
What?
natural mayonnaise, it's separating
Oh,
also.
if you get the natural, yeah. If you get the natural mayonnaise, sure.
You shake?
Peanut butter,
I know.
you get natural peanut butter, that separates
Oh, you gotta,
too.
yeah, you gotta just flip that bad boy upside down and then.
Not with
I hope
Jiffy.
it doesn't leak.
Not with Jiffy.
Well, yeah, because it's not going to be natural.
It's natural to me.
How many ketchups can we pull in here this week, guys? Let's pick a day.
Okay.
We're going to taste that. We'll get him the little cups.
I refuse
Do you-
to take part.
Well,
What do you mean
I
you
mean,
refuse to take part?
I don't even want to. I hate ketchup. It's
Well, no,
gross.
you don't have to
It
eat it.
is
It's for this
gross.
guy. It's just for the big
Disgusting.
guy. He thinks he can. It'd be like when people used to say they could tell the difference between Pepsi and Coke and Coke Zero.
I
And
did that perfect, by the way, once we mention it. Did 6 for 6 on
I
that.
mean,
That
if
was
you can't
perfect.
tell the difference between Coke and Pepsi,
Yeah,
like,
I thought the same thing, and then I watched other people do it, and they all failed.
then their palates can't be trusted. Coke and Pepsi are two very distinct and different
That's what
flavors.
I thought.
Like, even the carbonation's different.
Great.
Well, all right. What's a cheap, like RC Cola? Is that cheap?
I mean, it's cheaper. I mean, whatever the store brand is, like Jolly Good Cola.
Yeah.
Chewy, do you think you could differentiate between a bottle of ketchup and a packet of ketchup?
I don't know, because you can definitely tell the difference between a fountain drink and
Sure.
one out of the
You can tell the
kitchen.
difference between can and bottle.
Yes. Can you, though?
I did.
I love that he was like, I agree.
All right. So,
But actually, I don't.
if you want to, you can just take the ketchup straight. But would you like a vehicle for the ketchup? Do you want me to bring something
French
in
fries?
for like something to
Hash
dip?
browns?
Yeah, but they're going to be cold.
No, well, we can
Can
figure
you
it out.
eat ketchup with anything cold? I don't think you can.
I mean, you can.
I mean,
No,
you
I don't
can.
think you can.
I don't know if I'd recommend
Yeah,
it.
I wouldn't.
Maybe something you eat.
It's not
With
like
ketchup.
ranch and
No,
veggies.
but like the other day, I housed a cold burger because it was just sitting there, and I was like, I'll eat this, and dipped it in ketchup. But question: do you want French fries? You want tater tots? You want what do you? Or do you, just want to stick your finger
chicken,
in?
You want chicken nuggets?
We have a toaster oven
Yeah,
upstairs.
we've got,
we could
like, we can
easily make
Just
sure it's warm.
fries.
Okay.
Just fries.
All right, we'll get you some fries.
We get the little cups.
Yep, we'll get some
I'll
ketchup.
steal them from Portillo's. Sorry, Portillo's.
All right, we'll come up with the ketchup lineup.
Yeah, this will be easy.
They all have to. They all have to be fresh, right? Like they have to be unopened because they certainly deteriorate over time.
Yeah, but again, we can find a bunch of ketchup. What's your favorite brand?
Heinz.
All
is
right,
the
we'll get
best.
one Heinz. I'll get a
So,
Sendix brand. I'll
Sendix,
get
Hunt's.
Yeah. Oh, how do you feel about Hunt's?
Terrible. That's the stuff that separates.
What are the other brands?
I mean, I think it's just Heinz and Hunt's.
I think
And then
they're
it's just generic.
big
Yeah.
ketchup.
Food. What's that?
Ketchup
Food. There's food stuff.
conglomerate.
Food court. Food.
Food.
I can't think of the
Oliver
name of the
Twist
brand.
over here. Food, glorious food. Let's take a break. Let's get to Jason Wilde. I can't believe we're going to have a ketchup taste test. This is fantastic. Okay, Ryan from Aguadago, you cut it out. It's too early for that mouth on you this morning on the Carbless Talkin' text line. Jason Wilde coming up next.
Is your business ready to take the next step? At Fifth Third Commercial Bank Wisconsin, our team of local experienced advisors is here to propel you forward. We understand your needs and offer in-depth expertise, cutting-edge technology, and tailored solutions to streamline your cash collections, automate payments, and safeguard your assets with top-notch fraud mitigation tools. So contact Fifth Third in downtown Milwaukee today. Let's eliminate the non-value ad work so you can focus on what truly matters most. And this is what matters most to Fifth Third. Growing your business. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Dealing with an accident on southbound 43 just past Good Hope Road. It's off on the left shoulder behind the barrels, but still enough to be a bit of a distraction heading past that. Northbound 43 is backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keith, and southbound 41, you're looking at delays from south of Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by the Bud Pavilion's free concert series, Wednesday Night Live. The Toys take the stage this Wednesday. Gates open at 6. Live music starts at 7. Wednesday Night Live at the Bud Pavilion at State Fair Park. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, warm, humid, evening storms, a high of 87. Tonight, scattered storms early, humid with the low of 65. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Don't miss 3 weekends of live music at Milwaukee's Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance, including Devo, James Taylor, Chicago, plus Richard Marx, Rick Springfield, George Thorogood, and more. Get tickets now at summerfest.com.
Escape to Lake Lawn Resort in Delavan, Wisconsin, where everything is better at the lake. Dive into endless outdoor activities, including boating, fishing, and paddleboarding on the serene Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind in the award-winning Calidora Spa. Enjoy gourmet meals at 1878 on the lake, casual bites at the Lookout Bar and Eatery, and sweet treats at the Isle of Capri Cafe. Explore Delavan Lake's stunning shores and historic landmarks from the comfort of their 76-foot cruise boat, the Lake Lawn Queen. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
The Protect the Package golf outing takes place on August 16 at Ironwood Golf Course. Come be a part of the most unique outing in the state while helping loved ones battle cancer. Proceeds benefit the This Time Tomorrow Foundation. Sign up your foursome at thistimetomorrow.org under the Events tab.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Frankie in the 262 jumping on the old carbless talking text line 800-990-3776. He says, Chewy, I love you, but there's not a chance in HE double hockey sticks that you can tell the difference between ketchup.
I'm telling you, because Hunt's is the best.
No.
So I'm gonna I'm gonna establish which one's Hunt's, and then I'm gonna peel my way
You mean
back.
Heinz.
Oh.
Hunt's? Heinz. Yeah. I know. I was offsides. Okay. It's only a 5-yard penalty.
Jason Wilde joining us now. Jason, Chewy tells us he can tell the difference between ketchups. Do you believe him? Jason's speechless. Did we lose Jason?
It says he should be on, so let's try something else here quick.
You need me?
Good morning.
Do you need me?
Jason, are you there? Okay. I'll give him another call.
We don't have Jason. All right. Lots of folks weighing in, actually, on the carbless talking text line. Primal Kitchen's ketchup is the best, and it's okay for you. Doesn't have grams and grams of sugar. That from our friend Matt in the 920. So now all of a sudden we have people who are weighing in with their ketchup suggestions. Billy in Sussex says, can we all agree that anyone who puts ketchups on their eggs is a psycho?
Ugh. Yeah, that's gross. Now, hot sauce?
What is the difference?
Between ketchup and hot sauce?
I'm just saying, if you're going to put something on your eggs, what's the difference if it's hot red sauce or if it's just red sauce?
The flavor?
Ketchup is disgusting.
You are what just happened?
I know, but it's kind of gross, right? I mean, burger's about it.
French fries.
Like, a lot of times I'll have mustard with my fries.
Interesting.
Or vinegar with fries?
I mean, people do that.
Yeah.
Like you go to a nicer restaurant, you get an aioli.
Yeah. Ketchup. Use a lot. I know kids use it by the gallons. All right.
Jason Wilde joining us
Did
now.
everyone
here
hear that or just me?
on Jen,
just
Gabe,
you.
and Chewy.
Did not.
Good morning, Jason.
I love ketchup. I love Chewy. And I can 100% tell the difference between Heinz ketchup and Hunt's ketchup.
Really?
I'm a Heinz guy, so I can't be fully on board with Chewy, but I can.
Well, so is he. He just got
absolutely tell the
confused, Jason. In full transparency, he is also a Heinz guy. He just got confused.
In a shocking development, Chewy confused himself.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Good. Then I can't believe I'm saying this, but I am could not be more Team Chewy, which again, it's always a little bit alarming.
Listen, we're going to do this, Jason. This week, we're going to do the blind taste test, and Chewy's going to tell us what each of the brands of each of the...
What are you doing Friday? You want to come down and hang out with your guy?
That would
See
be
if you can pass the
get
test
Jason
too?
in here as well, doing the blind taste test for ketchup?
I would love to, but unfortunately, I have a conflict. I'll have to perform one in my own laboratory, my own ketchup laboratory.
Do you put it on Do you put it on hot dogs, Jason?
I do.
Okay.
I do like Stadium Secret sauce a lot.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
So that is my preference
every time.
It's a taste of my childhood, is what it is.
Well,
from
this is a good
County
week
Stadium.
to talk about the old ketchup on a hot dog thing as the Brewers are taking on the Cubs this week, but we'll get to that as the show rolls on. Jason, let's stick with the Green Bay Packers for a moment. Mark Murphy said that his biggest regret is the fact that he didn't win a Super Bowl with Matt LaFleur and with Brian Gutekunst. Did that surprise you at all that was Mark Murphy's biggest regret from his time with the Green Bay Packers?
What should have been his regret instead?
I wondered if it would have been the way that the Aaron Rodgers thing sort of
devolved.
rolled. I was going to say, I was trying to think of a better word, but yes, the way that it went down.
Ooh, yeah, I would say the Super Bowl, not winning a Super Bowl would be above that. I mean, look, he is who he is, right? I mean, going on the WIAA girls basketball telecast and basically
I forgot about that.
Publicly saying, well, I mean, if we don't have any other options, I guess we take him back, about a 4-time NFL MVP. He is who he is. I do think that there are probably some people in the building, as much as they love Mark and believe he did a lot of really good things and was a consensus builder in the building, which I think is a good thing. At the same time, I do think they're looking forward to Ed policy and feeling like they can confidently go to work every day and not worry about what the president might say. I mean, there was another example of it a couple weeks ago, right? When somehow, some way, Dave Schrader from WBAY TV is at a golf outing that Mark Murphy is at, and Jair Alexander, the news is that he's being released, and Mark Murphy confirms it and then comments on it. I don't think Bob Harlan would have done that, and I don't think Ed Policy will do that sort of thing. So I'm going to miss that. You just never know what he's going to say. He's a complicated fella. But look, I think what he's saying without saying there is, they won a Super Bowl on his watch, but it was with the two guys that Bob Harlan not only hired, but before passing the torch to Murphy, and I thought this was really interesting, and I know both myself and Domofsky are going to write about this. We're under a current embargo until later today. But that on the way out the door, Harlan extended both of those guys' contracts, both Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy, in order to make sure that those guys were taken care of in case the next president wanted to go in a different direction. And that is not what has happened here with Mark Murphy. Both of those, the head coach and the general manager, Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur, have 2 years left on their deals, this year and next year. And so I think that's a little interesting. But the bottom line is that they did win a Super Bowl during his tenure. It was with a coach, a general manager that the other president hired, and then a coach that the general manager hired, which gets into the structure, which is also different nowadays.
Jason, back to Jair. It's just...
God, I thought we were done with
No, it's just weird to me that they offer him a contract he knew he wasn't going to take. Why didn't they just cut him like back? Was it spite? Was it like, we don't want you in another team's mini camp, so we're going to drag this thing on? Because it's like Aaron Jones. It's like Aaron Jones, Jason. It's like, oh, we love him, we want him back. Oh, here's $3 million. I mean,
yep.
I don't get
it. I think Ron Wolf told me a great story when the Browns were trying to hire him for the general manager job there, many moons ago. He'd been retired for several years. And he asked, I think it was Randy Lerner, who was still the owner. He said, well, I'll take the job, but you have to give me 1% ownership. And Randy Lerner's like, no blanking way. He's like, okay, well, that's what I want. And afterward, I talked to Ron because I was at a phase where I was talking to him all the time because he was retired and had nothing else to talk about. And I asked him, why did you do that? He said, because it forced him to say no to me, as opposed to me saying no to the job. And I think that that's at work with the Packers somehow, right? Like, I always use the Jordy Nelson story, which I was talking about yesterday with KBN. Like, they offered Jordy Nelson in 2018, 1 year, $2 million. And he was ready to take it. I can tell you that at the time, both Rodgers and Davante Adams told me that Jordy was going to take the offer because he wanted to play one more year with his guys in Green Bay. His wife wanted to stay here, and then he was going to retire. 1 year, $2 million. And both of those guys said, look, we want to play with you, but you cannot do this. You are still too good of a player to take that kind of bargain basement contract. He ended up getting like $14 million from the Raiders. And while that 1 year was not what he wanted it to be with his guys in Green Bay, and frankly, the 2018 season wasn't what the Packers wanted it to be either. But the point is look, you can't accept an offer that is, in Rodgers' words, insulting. And so whether it's Aaron Jones, whether it's that, I mean, I still have people who will argue, well, the Packers offered Davante Adams more than the Raiders did, and he took the money, or he took the Raiders anyway. He passed up more money. No, they made that offer after the die had been cast, and he was never coming back. And when you make an offer that you know he's not going to take, then you get to say, well, we offered him more. And I don't know if it's about winning the PR battle or what, but in the Jair Alexander case, I had not seen his dad's comments. I didn't know that. I thought the only dad that was doing a lot of commenting was either Baron Sorrell in the YouTube comments of our shows or Christian Watson's dad. But, I mean, Goody claims that they didn't make an offer, or at least insinuated that they didn't make an offer at all, knowing that he wasn't going to accept it. But the bottom line is this was a stupid stalemate, because if he wasn't going to take a pay cut from the Packers and he wasn't going to restructure to facilitate a trade, then what were you waiting for? Because he wasn't going to ever get traded and he wasn't going to play for this team. And the fact that Goody was, theoretically anyway, contemplating whether he was willing to take the risk of having him on the roster at his existing salary, that feels like a fallacy to me. I feel like he would have never actually allowed that to happen.
Yeah, I think that decision was made pretty early in the offseason. But then on top of it, Jason, they decided to just eat all the salary cap hit this year instead of spreading it out, even though they released him after June 6th. But they still have plenty of salary cap space. And I have always been of the belief, sign your guys sooner rather than later, because it's only going to cost more the longer you wait. With that said,
unless you're just not signing guys.
Yeah. With that said, do you believe a deal gets done with Zach Tom, or is this just another thing where Matt LaFleur sees something one way and the front office sees something another way?
Well, I mean, Zach Tom's still got to win the job, right? I mean, he's in a competition, even though no one else took first team reps at right tackle during all the practices I attended this offseason.
Good nugget, very good nugget.
Explain to me how the offensive line coach basically says, straight up says, hey, yeah, he's in a competition, but the head coach is then out there stumping for him to get an extension.
Yeah, and the offensive coordinator saying he's in a competition too. Look, I don't know. I mean, I don't. Tausch hates it when I say I don't know. It's kind of like, he wanted me to assess the mini camp in some way, and I was like, look, nothing happened. Like, all right, the 75-yard touchdown to McCole Hardman with pass rusher in his face was an immaculate throw, magnificent throw. But all the rest of this, the idea that, Love is so much more accurate. They ran everything except the 2-minute drill at half or 3/4 speed. And I'm sorry, he could be more accurate this season. There's no doubt about it. But I'm not going to go out there and say things that what I watched is not full speed and allow me to actually say things with confidence, right? And so in this case, I don't understand why you would put it out there that a guy is in a competition unless for some odd reason you're just thinking, well, he had that torn pec last year. He didn't play that great, even though he's, air quotes, third-team All-Pro. He's the only right tackle besides Penei Sewell and Lane Johnson to get votes. I don't understand it. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. I don't know. But at the same time, I keep hearing Goody's little voice in my head before the 2024 draft saying, on average, teams only re-sign 1.6 players per draft class to second contracts. And they've got a hell of a lot of guys that are up this season.
Mm-hmm.
And is Zach Tom going to go in the world that I have grown up in as a reporter covering this team? There's no question that Zach Tom gets an extension. None. Zero. Zip. Zilch. That's, Ted Thompson re-signed Brian Bulaga, re-signed Mark Tauscher, re-signed Chad Clifton, re-signed once Mike Wall and Marco Rivera, re-signed Josh Sitton, re-signed TJ Lang, right? All those guys, re-signed David Bakhtiari. But in this world, I can't say that for certain anymore. I just can't. So do I think that Zach Tom gets an extension? I would certainly blanket hope so, because he is a really, really good football player, and you don't get better letting those guys walk out the door.
We'll leave it there, Jason. Thanks for hanging out with us. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, everybody. Take care. Be good.
He's Jason Wilde. Listen to him on Wilde and Tausch right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy each and every morning right here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
This is not a drill. If you make a hole-in-one at X Golf inside American Family Field, you could win the ultimate Brewers prize. Yeah, think about it. Think about what's inside AmFam. Think about where X Golf is, what's right next to it. How about a trip down Bernie's slide? Nail the shot. You and a friend get game tickets and up to 5 trips down that iconic slide. Yes, hole-in-one. Suddenly you're living every fan's childhood dream. Or, really everybody's dream, because you don't have to be a child to want to go down that slide. Book your swing at X Golf inside American Family Field, open to the public 7 days a week.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Looks like southbound on 43. We still have this accident behind the barrels on the left shoulder just past Good Hope Road. So that's something to keep in mind if you're heading through that area. It is a bit slow from Good Hope all the way down to about Bender Road. We got northbound side backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. Northbound 43 slowing from about Mayfair Road all the way up past Capitol Drive, with the southbound side hitting the brakes from Appleton Avenue down to Capitol. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy skies, warm and humid. Evening storms, a high of 87. Tonight, scattered storms early, humid with the low of 65. Weather is brought to you by Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin's Road America. IndyCar XPEL is coming up June 19th through the 22nd. Get your tickets today and check out the full season schedule at roadamerica.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, Milwaukee's medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology in our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Weekend appointments available. Call now. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows, binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on Warm Weather Vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take a shot with 5-Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5HEShot.com for full details and rules to enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
The big gig is back, starting June 19th. 9 days, hundreds of musical acts. Summerfest in Milwaukee is the event of the summer. Plus, tune into 94.5 ESPN all 3 weekends for Summerfest Saturday. Enter for your chance to win tickets to the ESPN Wisconsin app or visit summerfest.com. We'll see you out there. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I thought
Salvation
every time
Army.
that they hear their name when it's non-scheduled, that's what they want to hear.
I could hear Ashley laughing in the background.
Am I right or wrong?
He's not wrong. Hey, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He is wrong.
On 94.5 ESPN.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion, artistry, and flavor with sushi at St. Kate. It offers guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate, the Arts Hotel, introduces the addition of an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com. All eyes on the north side of Chicago this week as your Milwaukee Brewers take on the Chicago Cubs, still chasing in the standings, but an opportunity to close the gap with a successful series down at Wrigley Field. And I said this to Gabe yesterday. This is a big series. It's a big deal. And you said, is it?
It's June. You can have a big series. This is a fun series, sure. You want to catch the Cubs? Yeah. But ultimately, these 3 games in June, is that going to matter? I mean, every game matters the same amount, but it's June. Like even if you get swept by the Cubs this week, there are still 3.5 months left in this season to overcome a 3-game losing streak.
I would agree.
It's a fun series,
Yeah.
sure. But in baseball, a big series doesn't really exist until September.
Does it? I mean, if this was August and if it was a 4-game series and gets swept,
Yeah, it gets bigger and
that
bigger as the
stings.
season goes along. But
yeah.
Look, there's just so many games left, so much time left. We're not even at the halfway point.
Yeah, it's a nice sunny.
It's fun. It's fun. Like, I'm not
June.
saying don't tune in and watch and,
Yeah.
and enjoy, especially if
Not
the
the
Brewers.
end of the world.
Yeah, if the Brewers win 3 in a row. But we've done this before where, the Brewers got swept or lost 2 out of 3 to the A's a couple of years ago, and Tausch and Jesse and the clowns on Willie and Tausch decided, Brewers are done, can't make the playoffs. And they won the division going away.
But to be fair, in that instance, the A's were not the team they were chasing in the division. And it does feel like the Cubs are having one of those seasons where they can do no wrong. Are they going to lose games? Yes. But right now, they're one of the best teams in baseball, according to the stats. So, again, I think from a mental standpoint, look, I agree with your point, which is it's a 3-game series in the month of June, still a lot of ball game left, if you will. But I also think that to win this series would do great things for your confidence and see that you can hang with this squad. That, like what I love about what has happened recently in this division, guys, is that you are seeing this rivalry sort of intensify, right? You got the Cubs having success. You got the Brewers having success. They sort of batted around. You got the Craig Counsell angle. There's all sorts of things for you to get excited about. I am not going to dismiss it out of hand. I'm hopeful that the Brewers can win this series, especially as we talked about having Patrick and Mizorowski and Freddie Peralta on the hill for these 3 games.
Do I hope the Brewers win? Yeah, but it's just not.
I think it's like any
I don't think
sport.
it doesn't prove anything either way. If you win 3 in a row or lose, the Brewers swept the Phillies not that long ago. We know the Brewers can play really good baseball. It's sometimes over the course of 162, you have a week that's bad. I don't think they need to prove anything to themselves or anybody. Everybody knows that this is a solid baseball team. Again, it's June. Again, it's going to be fun. It's always fun when you play the Cubs, especially with Benedict Counsell down there managing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be fun, but it can't be a big
Like
series.
last year when the Packers played Philadelphia, first game of the year and lose. Not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's a bad example since that foreshadowed who they would ultimately lose to in the postseason.
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying.
But you always talk about peaking. Do they want to peak right now and going around? No, you want to peak in September. I
mean, the biggest thing that happened in the Packers-Eagles game last year wasn't the fact that they lost the game.
Yeah, Jordan.
It's that Jordan Love got hurt.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing that happened.
So I just want to be clear, though, guys, because if they lose, I mean, that deficit feels big, right? They're 5.5 games back now. It's a 3-game series. So go ahead and do the math, y'all. That, to me, is where it feels like you don't want to put that much distance between yourself and the team in front of the division. Again, I understand you can lose 3-game series here, you can get swept here and here, but the fact that it is against the Cubs, the team that you are chasing, the team that you expect to be fighting for that division title, that's where it becomes a little more intense than just your average June series.
But then you pivot to the wild card.
There's 89 games left.
Still got that meat lover's pizza in the trunk.
Well, and honestly, the wild card's more realistic right now because you are closer in the wild card than anything else.
Yeah.
You're a game back of the Padres for a wild card spot. But also, there's 89 games left.
Yeah, they got time.
At the end of the series, there's 86 games left.
Yeah.
There's still so much baseball and so much that can happen.
It's a fun series.
Yeah. Again, you lose the series 2 games to 1. Okay, so you drop a game in the standing. You're 6.5 back. You win, you're 4.5 back. I mean, it just, again, unless you get swept or you do the sweeping, there's not a lot of gains to be made over the course of just 3 games.
Let us know what you think. 800-990-3776. Put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Infinity Exteriors poll. Is this series a big series? Cubs versus Brewers. Brewers chasing down the Cubs, or at least trying to in the NL Central, a 3-game series at Wrigley Field. We'll take a break. There is a player on the Chicago Cubs that, is gaining traction, is sort of one of the best players in Major League Baseball right now. And he has a very interesting family tree. We'll get into that as Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on. Stick around.
I want to tell you about a decision I made a couple of years ago, and that was to join the Wisconsin Country Club. I was looking for a place where I could enjoy the course, play it a bunch, but you don't get sick and tired of it. It is a challenging course. It is a fun course. Plus, one of my favorite things as a golf nut, the practice areas are fantastic. Whether it's the driving range, the couple of different greens they have for short game work, plus the putting green, I can always just pop up there, get some swings in if I don't have time to play an entire round. Plus, at Wisconsin Country Club, no assessments, no food and beverage minimums, just the incredible challenging course that I love and other top-tier amenities like tennis, pickleball, and a pool. We just announced that we've got a pickleball pro that's going to be helping out people get better at pickleball if that's your thing. So get started today, thewisconsincountryclub.com. It's just a fairway away.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
If you're a motorist of the four-wheel variety, please watch out for those of us in Wisconsin who do their traveling on two wheels. Adjust your mirrors to reduce your blind spots. Allow motorcyclists a full lane width. Use your turn signal when merging or changing lanes. And allow more following distance between you and the motorcycle. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Summer in Milwaukee means a couple of things: Brewers baseball and live music. Get the best of both when the Brewers take on the Rockies June 27th, featuring a post-game concert by Nelly. Then the first 25,000 fans at the game on June 28th get a Pat Murphy Manager of the Year bobblehead, courtesy of Toyota. Get ready for a weekend you'll be talking about all summer. Get your tickets at Brewers.com.
Hey, Jen Latta here, and as a client of the We Sell Group, I can tell you firsthand, Rob and Nick make the home buying and selling process easier. Right now, school's out, and that means it's the perfect time to list your home. The market is challenging and inventory is tight, but you don't have to face it alone. Rob and Nick are pros. They take the stress off your plate so you can focus on your family, your summer, and just breathe. Contact Rob and Nick to see what your home might be worth in this market. Connect today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
Summerfest welcomes Def Leppard. This Thursday night, American Family Insurance Amphitheater during Summerfest. Get set to get rocked, Def Leppard, with special guest Tesla. Tickets on sale now at summerfest.com and Ticketmaster outlets. Def Leppard, brought to you by Summerfest.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds, through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What was a rebound? What did you just say?
Robust.
Robust.
You could say robust. Doesn't robust sound like a nice word of saying just a click below fat?
No, buddy, you're not fat.
Well,
you're
there's
rebound.
Well, Charles Barkley.
There's another R.
Round mound of rebound.
On 94.5 ESPN.
You know what makes me happy? My wife being happy. That's why I go to the Jewelry Center to see my guy, Dean the Dancing Machine. Earrings, custom jewelry, and repair services, the Jewelry Center does it all, including top-of-the-line engagement rings. And when it comes for that day for my 4 boys to take that next step in their lives, you can bet they will be heading over to the machine to get their rings at the Jewelry Center. They have great offers, great deals, and selections on both lab-grown and naturally mined diamonds for the rings. Plus, you always hear about how Gabe went to the Jewelry Center and had a great experience with the Jewelry Center specialist to pick out that perfect ring. Stop into one of their 3 locations, Brookfield, Greenfield, or Burlington today, or check out the full inventory online at shoptjc.com.
Armstrong is a name that Brewers fans should probably be familiar with, as he is, well, the best player on the Chicago Cubs right now. Leads the team in home runs and stolen bases, best defender, does everything well. Having an MVP caliber season can beat you in a lot of ways. Interesting family tree for Pete Crow Armstrong. His mom, an actress, Ashley Crow, was the mom in Little Big League. A movie from when we were kids. Gabe is
great movie.
He's all about
Fantastic
this.
movie. Little Big League is
what's the plot?
Fantastic. If you are unfamiliar with Little Big League, I feel sorry for you because that's how good it is. So she plays the mom. Pete Crow Armstrong's mom plays the mom in the movie of a kid who's 12 years old, Billy, and his grandfather dies.
Of course it's Billy.
Yeah, of course his name's Billy. His grandfather dies. His grandfather is the owner of the Minnesota Twins. And he leaves Billy the Twins because Billy loves baseball, right? So he takes over as the owner of the Twins, doesn't like the manager. He's a guy who doesn't let the boys have fun, too uptight. So he fires the manager, takes over himself. 12-year-old, managing in the big leagues. They go on a remarkable run, come just short of making the playoffs. They ended up playing game 163 against the Seattle Mariners. So Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson have some pretty fantastic cameos in that movie. But it is phenomenal.
And very realistic, as we have heard from Gabe. So we were thinking...
What did I say? That seemed unrealistic?
Well, I don't know, the 12-year-old not only owning the team, but then firing the manager so he can manage the team. Who is he, Jerry Jones?
Look, hard to argue with the results. All right, it was really hard to argue with the results, Jen. If you've seen the movie and you see how they rallied together under Billy's leadership... It's just a story that's going to touch your heart.
Who was the lead?
Inspiring. His name is Luke Edwards.
Ah.
Played Billy Haywood. So that got a 6.2 ranking from IMDb.
Way too low. People don't understand.
And I thought, that sounds like a very unrealistic plot. What else are unrealistic plots from children's baseball movies? Well, we got quite the list. Have you heard of Angels in the Outfield, guys? Have you seen Angels in the Outfield? Chew, you remember that one?
No. I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Gabe, please give him the synopsis of Angels in the Outfield.
So couple of kids who are in foster care. One who wants to live with his dad, and his dad said, okay, when the Angels win the pennant. Now, the Angels are a really bad baseball team, Chew. They're just historically bad. Kid says a little prayer. Christopher Lloyd ends up being his guardian angel, comes down, helps the Angels.
Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Yes, Christopher Lloyd.
Okay.
He's an angel, Chew.
Okay.
So Matthew McConaughey, this is one of his first roles ever.
Danny Glover,
he's an
Tony
Elton-
Danza.
Yeah.
Sounds like the Packer movie that they just
Remember the
put out.
scene? The kids do this, right?
Yeah.
The wings.
Yeah, so the kid ends up connecting with, again, the manager of the Angels, and that was the sign, flapping your arms, that there's an angel out there.
The dirty bird.
That there is an angel helping somebody.
Okay.
That one felt also unrealistic.
Now, the most unrealistic part about that movie is Tony Danza's character, who is a pitcher, is pitching the final game. And they've got the announcers in the booth. He's pitching to what's going to end up being the last batter of the game. Just casually, very casually, the announcer goes, his arm's got to be tired. He's thrown 156 pitches.
Yeah. Half a cup.
So two games then.
That's the most unrealistic thing in that movie.
156
Just I know it's the mid-90s. That's negligence. Let your guy go for 160.
I got another list of movies here. Bad News Bears, which, by the way, got a 7.3 on IMDb. Alcoholic Misfit, coaching the a former minor leaguer coaching a children's team. That also feels, more
feels realistic. I had some coaches that, crushing breath mints during the game. Yeah.
All right, so we'll slide that one over.
The 70s were a different time, John.
To the realistic side of the ledger. Sandlot, which has a 7.8 on IMDb, I think is the most realistic, right? It's a bunch of kids who are
just
playing
baseball,
together.
yeah.
The one kid moves. He doesn't know baseball, so his buddies end up teaching him, and then they lose the ball. Obviously, everybody knows the plot line of the Sandlot. But to me, that's the most realistic unrealistic of the children's movies that we have discussed thus far. Sounds like Bad News Bears might be next. Hardball, a movie I was not familiar with, but Gabe, once again, this is like his wheelhouse all of a sudden. So Hardball is a Keanu Reeves movie about youth baseball.
So another degenerate who ends up taking over a little league team, but he's a gambler. He's in debt. Goes to a buddy who's a stockbroker to try to have him borrow the money so he can repay his debts. So his buddy says, "Well, I'm supposed to coach this youth baseball team. If you coach this team, I'll pay you." And he ends up coaching this intercity youth baseball team. They make a rally, and of course everybody comes together. Really sad though, because the youngest member of the team, who isn't allowed to play, him and his brother get caught in some crossfire. And G-Baby dies. Like, G-Baby dying in that movie.
Sounds a little Bad News Bears ripoff.
It's pretty heavy.
Well, except for the death thing.
Oh,
You did?
Yeah. G-Baby dying?
Wait,
yeah.
the first time you ever cried watching a movie was Hardball?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I didn't realize we were going to get one of those core memory type
'cause
moments
again,
here.
It's like you think it's all these other movies we've mentioned are heartwarming movies. Tragedy isn't supposed to be striking in Act 3 at the very end. Like, you expect G-Baby's one of the most heartwarming, endearing characters in the entire movie. He dies at the end.
Yeah, but Amanda couldn't finish the game because she threw her elbow out, and that's why the Bad News Bears ultimately lost. So that was pretty sad for me, too.
She didn't die!
No, but she might have needed Tommy John.
She didn't die in her brother's arms.
How about Rookie of the Year? Rookie of the Year also on this list. Gabe, you think that is the most unrealistic film?
So bad, but so good, though.
Oh, it's so good.
Float it. Speaking of the Cubs, by the way.
Am I the only one who, as a child, after seeing that movie, kind of wanted to break their arm
No,
to
everyone
see if
did.
you could throw that hard?
Everyone wanted to. They were
right? Like,
break it. Come on, break it. Holding it behind your back, having your friend yank it up. Come on, let's see if we can.
Funky butt
That
lovin'?
was the best part of the whole movie. I still use that funky. Did he just say funky butt loving? Yeah.
Daniel Stern is totally underrated in that film, by the way, as like the comic relief.
Hot ice. You heat up the ice cubes.
But as much as we think that Rookie of the Year and breaking your arm and being able to throw whatever it was, 100-mile-an-hour fastball is unrealistic, Air Bud 7th inning fetch, which got a 4.4 on IMDb, is probably the winner here, right?
I am not as familiar with Air Bud 7th inning fetch. Again, I think this is a situation where the sequel's not as good as the original, because originally Air Bud was a basketball player.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
7th inning fetch. Yes, that is the
Corny.
most unrealistic of the children's baseball movies in honor of Pete Crow Armstrong, who will be playing in the series Cubs versus Brewers at Wrigley Field starting today. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on right after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We've got a string of accidents to deal with because the pavement is dry. Well, we've got one on 43 southbound, just south Good Hope Road. It is off on the left behind the barrels, so squad is with it. They're working on that. We've got one on westbound 94 at Mitchell Boulevard. Looks like the left lane is blocked with that one. Definitely seeing delays with that. Also northbound 43 heading through the Marquette. The left shoulder is blocked with that. And then the other one on 894 northbound, right at the ramp from Oklahoma Avenue, off on the right shoulder as well. Traffic is brought to you by Live Comedy on Okauchee Lake. Join us for dinner and a show at the Golden Mast on Friday, June 27th with comedian John DeBoer. Get your tickets at goldenmastin.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy skies, warm, humid, evening storms, a high of 87 tonight. Scattered storms early, then humid, a low of 65. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
With more than 35,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served more than 5 million people globally. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Summerfest is almost here, and we're going to send you to all 9 days. It's Summerfest on us. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app and register for your chance to bring a friend and have the best summer ever at the big gig. Summerfest on us. Register today in the ESPN Wisconsin app under the contest tab.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I got lazy. I didn't look. I clicked on view photos. And of course, the Joker pops up. You've been busted. My fault. Totally.
She thinks I'm a nice guy. Women always think I'm nice, but women don't want nice. Why is nice bad? What kind of a sick society are we living in when nice is bad?
IT department, stop being nice. You're the cop of the station, right? I don't need a nice, warm, fuzzy email.
What's that smell? What are you wearing? A little cologne.
Manly.
Monica wants me to wear it.
So why don't you say no?
I'm too nice. She wants me to take an IQ test.
It's because you're stupid enough to wear the cologne.
It's like I got pulled over by a cop for doing 10 over, and the cop is super, super nice, and he writes me a ticket for $250. Be the JAG. You're a JAG. You're a JAG department. What you do is a little nefarious. I'm a little sick of it.
Yeah, I'm just going to find out I'm a moron. People think I'm smart, but I'm not smart.
Who thinks you're smart?
I'm not going to break 100 on this thing.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
She wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing.
NFL.com put out an article stating, projecting which NFL players will improve in 2025. It's always interesting when these lists come out and you're like scrolling. Where are my guys? Where's a guy from my team? Well, Packers fans don't have to worry. There is a player from their team on this list, Edgerrin Cooper. Despite being banged up in training camp and missing 3 games during his rookie season, it was easy to see why Cooper was my favorite player coming out of the 2024 NFL Draft. Oh, a little humble brag there by the author. He collected 3.5 sacks, 13 tackles for loss, an interception, and 77 tackles while playing just 45% of the team's defensive snaps last season. This is why they believe Edgerrin Cooper will improve in 2025. And I think it's a pretty safe bet. So for the sake of our exercise, we are going to draft our each individual most improved player for the Green Bay Packers, who we believe will, not needs to, not should, but will have the largest improvement from last year to this year, right? That's what we're doing, last year to this year. Not across the course of their career, but last year's number to this year's number. Any player on the team except for Jordan Love. Because we all agree that Jordan Love not only needs to, but will improve his performance from last year because he was injured for such a significant portion of the season. So, first things first, we went ahead and established the draft order. Gabe, what was the draft order as dictated to us by the Google randomizer?
Yeah, the draftordergenerator.com. Didn't know it existed until I Googled it earlier today. So drafting, again, in our most improved draft, and we'll track these guys as the season goes along. With the number 1 overall pick, Joshy. Chewy has the number 2 pick. I have the number 3 pick. And Jennifer has the last pick.
Cool. It's fine. You know what? The good news is, guys, there are plenty of players on the Green Bay Packers team that need to improve, so we should have plenty of options to choose from. Joshy, can you give us you got a little music? You got a little action? What do we got here? Yes. And when your pick is in, don't forget we have the old...
Not as good as your.
There it is.
So I'm picking needs to improve here.
Who you think? Yeah, but it's who you think is going to. Who do you think is going to improve the most?
Well,
because again, we're going to track this throughout the course of the season, and if you make a pick of somebody who doesn't improve, you can get dunked on.
I feel like my first pick is made for me, and it has to be Edgerrin Cooper.
You've been a big Edgerrin Cooper guy since day one.
Yes, and talking all pros, he was defensive player of the week multiple times, and even the month, I believe, once.
Just of the week twice.
Okay.
I don't think he got a month one.
Womp womp.
I mean, he's no Atari Bigby.
Whatever it is, it's Edgerrin Cooper for me. No questions asked.
All right, mine is totally strategic. It's brilliant, is what it is. Because this guy is in the basement, and they like him. They liked him last year, but he was hurt. You know where I'm going?
Who are you going with?
Marshawn Lloyd.
Oh, okay.
He only had 6 carries, so he's going to get
scam
more
artist.
than that. So my pick is Marshawn Lloyd.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I think he just won the contest. It was going to be a season-long contest, but here we are, June 16th or whatever, 17th. And
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. Maybe by percentage-wise, like those shows. Oh, we're the fastest-growing show on television. Yeah, you went from 3 viewers to 5.
Pickleball.
He is.
When everybody's like,
fastest-growing sport in America.
And it's like, right, because no one was playing, and now you've got some people playing.
He's my Rashawn Gary of the Pro Bowl.
I mean, they plan to use him.
Yeah.
But he could just suck.
Yeah.
No, but mop-up time, and, the games that they're supposed to win and blow them out.
But if he has an Emmanuel Wilson season, I don't think any of us are going to care about it.
Hey, stop crapping on my pick, man.
I think that's the point. Use the competition.
Right. You tried to game the system, and I'm just pointing out some of the flaws in your plan.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Did not expect to have some of the names still left on the board when we got to me.
Your pick?
Yeah, I figured Edgerrin Cooper would be gone because, again, Josh has been a big Edgerrin Cooper guy. I thought Chewy was going to take Tucker Kraft.
Oh, so now you're going to take him.
So now I'm going to take Tucker Kraft.
Now I
He's
got
on
to
the
pivot.
board.
Jeez. All right, I'm pivoting.
I had no idea that Tucker Kraft was just going to fall in my lap.
But why do you
at
think
number
he
3?
will improve in 2025?
Because the Packers need someone to step up in the offensive passing game. I think the receivers are still developing. I think some of the receivers are going to be better. Matthew Golden's certainly going to help. But the way that they have talked about getting Tucker Kraft more involved, the way he has talked about wanting to get more involved and not just on, I catch the ball in the flat and then I can run for 8 or 9 yards. Getting him down the field, operating in the seam, and taking that next step forward. I think Tucker Kraft is going to be a huge part of this Packers offense, and I want to thank Chewy for leaving him on the board.
I was going to go there, but he had 50-something catches. I just because they don't flex him out, I don't see him getting to be a 70 or an 80 catch tight end.
But what if
He'll
they
be
start
60.
doing it? What if they start doing it?
I just don't think they will.
What if he's an all-pro?
Then Gabe wins the contest.
I'm making Gabe's case for him.
I went with the safe one.
But Chewy, again, I want to make sure that we keep addressing this because you have talked about if Tucker Kraft now I'm doing that exactly right. If Tucker Kraft has to be connected to the offensive line, it is going to be tough for him to make those downfield contributions that we would love to see him do because he has had success when he has been able to spring free. Is that part of the reason why it might not be as monumental, as much of a big trajectory as we have thought or we have hoped for Tucker Kraft?
That and, obviously they like to run the ball, even though I don't think they'll do as much of it this year.
I'd have to go back and look, but I don't think they were detaching Luke Musgrave that much from the line. Because he had some pretty big downfield catches. Again, his big problem was once the ball got in his hands.
But if you look a lot of
But then he sort of figured that out as the season went on, too.
Tucker Kraft's big runs were just really checkdowns in the flat, and then he turned it into something big.
But you always talked about this, Chewy, last year, and you've talked about it this year, about, okay, what's your bread and butter play? I think they're going to develop some sort of Fox 2XY hook for Tucker Kraft
which will get him to 65 catches. Like I said, I don't think he's an 80. Just positionally, I don't think he's an 80 catch guy. Because look at Kelsey's flexed all the time. So we'll see. I mean, I think he'll have a better year, and I think they're going to use him more. I just don't see him getting to the number.
I had Tucker Kraft as my draft pick, but now I've had to pivot. So I'm going to go with Kenny Clark. In part because now we know he was dealing with an injury. He was dealing with a foot injury all of 2024. Had surgery in January to address the bone spurs, and that injury likely contributed to his production. At least that's what we're hoping. We're hoping it isn't just that Kenny Clark stinks now. We're hoping that the injury is a big reason why his numbers were down. As you mentioned, Gabe, like career low numbers for Kenny Clark. So I think that because he will be healthy this year, and because they need him to step up. They can't have a guy of his caliber playing the way he is. They want him to return to his Pro Bowl form. So I have Kenny Clark as my most improved player in 2025.
Hate to see it. Hate to see it. Jen panicked and just overreached. Just hate to see it. This is your John Michaels. I was the Ravens. I took Ray Lewis.
And I panicked.
And then you're over there at Ron Wolf going, John Michaels.
You don't think that Kenny Clark is going to improve?
No. He's an old man.
That's unfortunate.
It's improvement for him is 3 sacks and 7.
So I just want to be clear. I
Kind of
asked
felt
Gabe,
like my Marshawn Lloyd. If you really want to know.
hey, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Like LVN has 5 sacks. Big win for me.
Not a big win for the Packers.
No.
You don't think Kenny Clark will improve? Darn it. I thought for sure he's going to have to improve after being injured last year. There's a lengthy list of guys, as we have said multiple times. I could have gone Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed will likely improve. The way that he carries himself, it seems like he's a guy who will go back to the drawing board and figure out why he has struggled. But the addition of Matthew Golden makes me wonder how are we measuring that improvement? If it's targets, receptions and catches, touchdowns. I don't know that those numbers are necessarily going to go up with the addition of Matthew Golden. So that's why I hesitated there. Another option was Devontae Wyatt. Anybody think Devontae Wyatt is a good pick for most improved in 2025?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was looking at Carrington Valentine with somebody else I had on my board. I think they have high expectations for him.
You know who I think will be better too? Is Musgrave. Because he knows that he's not the guy. He's kind of out the door, so he's playing for that next contract.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll be better. I think this will be
part of him,
one of the better 2 tight end sets.
He has had unfortunate injuries.
Yeah.
What is going the lacerated kidney? How many NFL players do you know have had lacerated kidneys? It's not like I've got a hamstring.
Yeah. No.
Oh, what do you get? What's wrong with you? Why are you on the injury? A kidney? Pardon me?
Yeah.
A what? So hopefully, if he stays healthy, I think you're going to be right, Chew. I hope you're right.
Mm-hmm. We're only doing 1 round.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
we got to get the power rankings. They're so good.
That was my thought too, Chew. We got to get to Chewy's power rankings listed. It's so good. You got one, Gabe?
I do. I want to tell everybody about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin because it might be time to upgrade those windows and/or doors. But clearly you don't want to spend a fortune. Pella is the best in the industry, and they've got a product line for every budget. It's one of the reasons why I chose Pella to redo the front door on my house, is because they have a lot of different options, not just in terms of the customizable, which is fantastic, but they've got a lot of other budget options as well. And right now, get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. So if the plan was to wait, well, guess what? Get it now and then wait to start making payments for up to 2 years later. Certain restrictions do apply. End 6/30/2025. Set up that free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. Tell them Gabe Neitzel sent you.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Got delays with an accident on westbound 94 at Mitchell Boulevard. The left lane is blocked, stretching all the way back past 27th Street with those delays. We've also got an accident on southbound 43, just getting wrapped up just south of Good Hope Road. It is off on the left shoulder behind the barrels. We got delays just south of Brown Deer. Southbound 41 is going to be delayed, though, from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive northbound, slowing just before Mayfair Road up to about Hampton. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy, warm, humid, evening storms, a high of 87. Tonight, scattered storms early, then humid, a low of 65. Weather is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof, siding, and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Escape to Lake Lawn Resort in Delavan, Wisconsin, where everything is better at the lake. Dive into endless outdoor activities, including boating, fishing, and paddleboarding on the serene Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind in the award-winning Calidora Spa. Enjoy gourmet meals at 1878 on the lake, casual bites at the Lookout Bar and Eatery, and sweet treats at the Isle of Capri Cafe. Explore Delavan Lake's stunning shores and historic landmarks from the comfort of their 76-foot cruise boat, the Lake Lawn Queen. Book your stay today at LakeLawnResort.com.
Sip into a flawless summer. Hey, it's KBN's Brad Nortman. Let carbless, ready-to-drink cocktails be your passport to pool parties, patio hangouts, cookouts, and pure summer bliss. Carbless is here to spark a summer of flavor and fun. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and of course, all the good vibes. From fruity flavors to refreshing fizz, Carbless stands out in a sea of same-old seltzers. See what flavors fit your summer. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and enter to win a flawless summer prize pack today.
Summerfest brings the biggest names in live music to Milwaukee's lakefront across 3 unforgettable weekends, including performances from James Taylor, Chicago, Devo, plus Richard Marx, Rick Springfield, George Thorogood, Sebastian Bach, and more. Don't miss Milwaukee's Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance on June 19th through 21st, June 26th through 28th, and July 3rd through 5th. Get tickets now at summerfest.com.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an Eastside event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Do you like your pickles warm or cold?
Want my pickle a little warm.
Warm's good.
It's better than cold.
Cold
You
can
got
be
shrinkage.
good too.
Yeah, well, no,
Cold
shrinkage
can
gets
be good.
involved. It's not great.
On 94.5 ESPN.
We've enjoyed having Professional Construction Inc. help with our home projects. As you might know, Dario and I, not the most handy. You should consider PCI for your next remodeling project, home addition, or maybe you're thinking about building a new home. The PCI team is here for you. Mike and Michelle operate a family-owned company. They believe in building relationships and doing exceptional work on your projects. So why not check them out at professionalconstructioninc.com. That's professionalconstructioninc.com.
Things. I got brains and I got skill, but they don't mean a thing.
Segment of the week.
Hey, big guy, you catch the game?
It's Power Rankings time on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You catch the game last night? Can I say yes to you?
What will the big guy have in store for us today?
See the game last night?
Which game?
Any of them.
Alrighty, great list. This is in honor of the crew going down to Chi-Town.
Okay.
I love Chi-Town. I was just there, moved one of the boys in to
Except
Lincoln
for these 3
Park.
Except for these 3 days. Now you hate Chi-Town.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But great restaurants, a lot of fun, summertime, blast. Little jealous. So, I just need from you guys the top 10 movies to take place in Chicago.
Okay.
You should get.
All right.
But we don't have to do them in order, right? We just got to fill them in.
Correct.
You got 15 to get all of them.
Okay.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Number 2, good old Ferris.
Which
I thought
of them?
about number 1.
Go ahead, Gabe.
But did you have a question about Ferris Bueller?
Nope,
or
it was
what?
a different one. I'll ask it next.
The Fugitive.
The
Ooh,
Fugitive
good one.
is number 8.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
Great movie. That's still one that pops up on TNT USA.
Oh,
you
yeah.
watch a little bit of
100%.
it and then
Tommy Lee
move
Jones,
on. Yeah.
Harrison Ford. Oof.
Very good.
Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers is number 6. Good call.
I mean, we just talked about it. Is Rookie of the Year going to be on here?
Feels a little like a reach. With so many other ones, right? I would hold it.
Okay.
Hey, Kevin McAllister.
Oh, yeah, Home Alone.
Home Alone, number 4.
Wow.
Number 4.
I'm trying to figure out which of the Batman movies was filmed in. Was that The Dark Knight?
But just because it was filmed there doesn't mean it takes place there.
Oh, is that the difference? That maybe it has to.
No, there is no difference.
There is no difference. Because technically Batman happens in
Gotham City, which is not a real city.
Yeah.
So I think it's The Dark Knight.
Correct.
Dark Knight, number 7.
Okay.
Wow,
You
I thought
guys
that
are
was going to be
rolling.
higher on this
Haven't
list.
even swung and missed
All
yet.
right, I didn't even think then. Yeah, I didn't know if that would get... Okay, so it was filmed in Chicago. What else?
This is movies, right? Movies?
Yes.
Not television shows.
No.
I got 700 television shows that are filmed in Chicago.
Oh, yeah. We got some to play with.
Gonna guess?
No, I don't know if that would be on there.
Darn it! League of Their Own, wasn't that filmed in Chicago? They filmed some of the scenes at Wrigley.
It was filmed kind of all over the place.
So no then?
I would say no. Like, there's scenes that take place in Chicago.
I can't believe we haven't gotten one yet. What are we missing?
Great movie. You're going to kick yourself, too.
Well, maybe I'll still get it.
Possibly.
So, I don't know if it's popular. There was the movie Public Enemies that was about...
Prohibition
Yeah.
taking place in Chicago. Al
Just
Capone.
guess it. I think we're there,
Public
right?
Enemies.
Not on the list.
Darn it.
Oh, you guys right in front of your face.
I hate it when he says this. Weren't there like a bunch of John Hughes movies, or were those in the suburbs of Chicago? But like The Breakfast Club and
This is Chicago proper.
like downtown.
No.
Oh.
Is that proper?
Well, Chicago proper is in the city, yes.
No, this isn't proper. Then. Strike that.
I'm trying to think of 80s movies, 80s,
Yeah.
90s that Chewy would like, and the first two that come to mind would be something like Breakfast Club or Risky Business.
Breakfast Club 3. Risky Business 1. That's your guy.
Wow.
My guy!
That is your guy.
Oh, my guy.
All right, you got 3 to go.
Chicago proper is still crushing me right now.
Hey, people, you can kiss me.
Kiss your Chicago.
Yeah.
What about, so if Chicago proper counts, are we doing Christmas Vacation?
Or just Vacation.
Or Vacation.
I mean, they all take place,
In
I guess,
Chica-
yeah.
yeah, so-
but Christmas Vacation, I like.
I don't like his look.
Not on the list.
Okay.
That's 2 strikes.
How many did we get?
We need 3 more.
You got 3 more.
Oh, darn it.
One is kind of tough. The other ones, but Joshy nailed it.
What about my guys?
With your hint. With
So
your hint.
80s, 90s.
Oh, shoot. Because I was going to say, I thought Hoop Dreams might be on the list. My God, Marquette guys.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I'm running out.
How are you running out? These are staples.
I mean, I would say.
one is Chicago. One is Chicago.
I thought you said one was Risky Business.
No, I'm saying this movie is so Chicago.
Chicago?
Nope.
Well, that's the musical,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I said.
Although
One
Chicago
of them they remade.
should be on the list.
Yeah,
shouldn't
you
it?
would think.
One of them they remade, and it wasn't very good. As good as the first one.
I'm struggling here.
Something they remade that wasn't as good as the first.
Like one, you're going to kick yourself.
That hint
Jen?
gives you almost every remake possible.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I'm thinking like Longest Yard. I don't think took place in Chicago. Did it? I don't think so. How many other remakes is he aware of?
Darn it.
This was like a staple. It's probably late 80s, early 90s.
I think we're gonna lose Gabe. I can't think. I mean, I'm thinking of like Groundhog Day, but that takes place in, again, famously where I
Yes.
went to school in Woodstock. That's not Chicago.
No.
Saturday Night Live.
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. Party time. Excellent. All right, there's 9.
And by the way, that was in Aurora, Illinois.
Gabe, you were right in one of your guesses, but you picked the wrong movie.
It's right in one of my guesses. So we said Christmas Vacation, so just Vacation?
No. Era in Time.
Oh, okay. So not Public Enemies, but some other one.
Oh, like a gangster, like a...
I mean, 8 Men Out wouldn't be on there.
Oh, that was the White Sox, right?
Yeah.
That was on. That didn't make the top 10 though.
Yeah.
But it was on the list?
Kevin Costner.
Road to Perdition.
No, that was Tom Hanks. Oh, come on. Oh.
What is the movie about?
He's an FBI. Costner's an FBI agent trying to track down all the Prohibition guys. God, why am I blanking on the name of that movie?
I have no clue.
Oh, I'm going to be so mad.
Untouchables.
No, Untouchables.
Oh!
Yes.
All right, one left.
What number was Untouchables?
Yeah, just out of curiosity,
10.
what about our recent performance makes you think we're going to get this last one?
I guarantee you love this movie.
Crap.
Guarantee you love this movie.
We said Home Alone already.
Great cast.
That's your clue?
I'm trying to think. Softball. Lincoln Park.
Huh.
Demi Moore.
Well, then it's got to be the Brat Pack. Is it the Brat Pack? Like that group
Partially, yeah.
That group of people. What was that movie then?
I don't. I'm out.
About Last Night.
Oh yeah, no clue.
What?
No,
never
clue.
seen it.
Such a good movie. Josh.
Is it?
That's a great list. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
That
you
is
very
a
much.
good list.
No, that was a good list. That was a fun list.
And you beat us, right? He won?
Yeah, he won.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won.
That's solid. League of Their Own was on.
Oh, was there?
Didn't make top 10.
But it was in the
but
top
that
10.
Should have
was-
been.
Yeah.
They shot those scenes at Wrigley Field.
Yeah. Great movie. All right. There you have it. I can go home now.
No, you can't.
Avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugan.
That's good advice.
There's no crying in baseball.
No. The other day we were at Chase's baseball game, and one of the teams is really struggling with the cutoff, and I was like this to Dario. Evelyn. Evelyn doing the fingers in his face. And I was like, you're still missing the cutoff, man. Now that's something we're going to have to work on this off season.
It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. That's where my friends at Mentality come in. Local healthcare facilities specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. So what they do at Mentality is you first contact them. LowTUSA.com. Book an appointment just to see if you're dealing with low testosterone. If you're tired, groggy, just don't have that energy that you had a year or two ago, those are all signs of lower testosterone. You go through the process, the blood panel, once you get a blood panel done, results back to you within a week. And if your testosterone levels are low, then you get to work with Mentality. They'll come up with a customized testosterone treatment plan that works for you. I go back there every 11, 12, 13 weeks to make sure that my testosterone levels are where they need to be. If they need to adjust my dosage or do anything like that. So now I've got the energy. I attack the day. I'm able to do everything that I want to do. So go to lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments. lowtusa.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Still dealing with some accidents. One on 894 at Oklahoma Avenue heading northbound off on the right shoulder. So heads up with that. Luckily, everybody seems to be getting past it without too much of an issue. Earlier accident at Mitchell Boulevard on westbound 94 has been cleared. Delays are still there from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 43 slowing down right around the North Avenue curve up towards Keefe. Southbound is a bit backed up from before Good Hope Road all the way down past Bender. And then back on the brakes from Keefe down to about Locust. And then we've got delays just northbound 4394 coming up from the Plainfield curve right past Oklahoma Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies, warm, humid, evening storms, a high of 87. Tonight, scattered storms early, humid with a low of 65. Weather's brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Visit any of their 6 locations in the Milwaukee market today. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman. A big focus in America today is your health. And you can't be fully healthy if you are not physically mobile to do the things you want to do. If you're someone that keeps on experiencing that joint pain, then you need to visit QC Kinetics. When I go to QC Kinetics' Greenfield location, I am amazed at everything that they have to give you your life back and finally fix that pain that you're experiencing. Everything they do is top of the line. From the free consultation where you can get an ultrasound of your joints and see what is nagging you in real time, to the effective and long-lasting treatments of PRP and stem cells that they offer to give you long-lasting pain relief. Be one of the tens of thousands of other patients who now have a pain-free life because of the treatments they received at QC Kinetics. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been shaping the future for businesses for 167 years and for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. We offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making, and extensive experience to help you navigate the ever-changing business landscape with your business in mind. At Fifth Third, we're big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, yet empowered to make local decisions and build strong community connections. Experience the commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot Wisconsin sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $400 off your awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry, Terry.
Keep awkwardly
Terry,
chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it.
Woo!
Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Evan Cohen here. We all know breakfast is an important part of your day. But when you're traveling for work and your hotel doesn't offer any, you're forced to make do with peanuts and an energy bar as you sprint off to your shift. But if you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can enjoy their free Bright Side breakfast featuring delicious baked goods, fruit, eggs, yogurt, and waffles. They refuse to let you go to work hungry and aim to send you off fueled up. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow you shine. Book direct at LQ.com.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Big hurt. I heard that's like, eh.
Ron and the Keyway and saying you guys should slow down before you take on a sponsor.
Here I am.
On 94.5 ESPN.
The Badgers basketball team made a magical run in March. Wisconsin basketball made them believe on Thursday, June 26th. We'll recap that run. Join the stars from that squad as they remember and celebrate the 2015 run to Indianapolis. Get your tickets and be part of this intimate night at the Orpheum Theater in Madison. You got Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker, Josh Gasser, and yes, Bo Ryan. UWHoops2015.com. That's UWHoops2015.com. Get your tickets now. Untold stories, memories from that season, and special guests will make it a night you will not want to miss. Again, that's June 26th at the Orpheum Theater. Tickets on sale at UWHoops2015.com. Got to get to our Janssens today. Joshy, go ahead and roll the open.
Enough with this Janssens.
It would be front office malpractice. Whether or not Giannis blesses this or not, to not go out and aggressively pursue a trade.
Mobley for Giannis, straight up. What do you think? Call it in right now.
Done.
You're done if you're Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I think it's a great trade.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
It's the season of nonsense.
You probably heard that Stephen A. Smith said that Milwaukee Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo would be an underachiever. That was his word, underachiever, if he did not win another NBA championship. His explanation was that a guy of his talents and pedigree should have more than one NBA title. Well, Jay Williams went on First Take and had this to say about Stephen A. Smith's take on Giannis.
That was one of your worst takes I've heard in a long time, man. That was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I had to, like I'm the little brother that is filled with the venom sometimes when you and I go at each other, and it's all love because it's always love. But I think we really need to do a better job of reframing some of these conversations, right? And if you were to say that the franchise, the Milwaukee Bucks, have underachieved or are the biggest underachievers with the talent of Giannis, fair. But a guy who has a 50-point closeout game, a guy who's never chased any of these dream team scenarios, a guy who's a finals MVP, a guy who's a multi-time All-Star, All-NBA, all everything, global face of the game, the fact that he brought an NBA championship to Milwaukee, in the midst of the fire that he did, to call him an underachiever, I just think is an asinine comment.
It is. Not just because it's Giannis. I mean, you don't call Aaron Rodgers an underachiever who won 4 MVPs with the Green Bay Packers. I totally agree with Jay Williams.
Well, because
that's the wrong word.
It's a team sport.
Yes.
You can only do so much.
Correct.
Giannis has, theoretically, guys, been throwing the team on his back when there have been injuries to his teammates. Chris Middleton, Dame Lillard, et al. Like, he has done everything he can to carry this squad, carry this franchise as far as he can in the NBA playoffs. That, to me, is an overachiever.
Yeah. Well,
it's not even just an achiever. It's an overachiever.
When initially this had happened, Jay had put out there, wild how humility plus loyalty gets rebranded as a flaw.
Yeah.
With Giannis. And again, no, Giannis is an overachiever, especially when you consider his background. And Giannis had shared that, I believe, on his Instagram story of somebody, sharing, so the guy that, had no money and was selling sunglasses on the streets of Athens, ending up doing all the things that Giannis has done now. Wait, that's underachieving? And I'm with Jay. Let's rebrand that, man. I understand we got to come up with takes all the time, but Giannis is an underachiever.
Like, who is? I mean, Mike Trout's an underachiever.
He's won 3 MVPs.
Yeah, but because similarly, it's baseball's a team sport as well. How much can Mike Trout do to elevate that team
More
to greatness?
He's done.
He's won 3 MVPs.
All right. Would Jordan Love at some point be labeled an underachiever? Don't you have to have massive talent to be an underachiever?
That's what I was going to say. Underachiever to me is like somebody who has God-given ability and they just waste it.
Yes.
Like I don't even know if this is a good example, but it came to the top of my head, like a Johnny Manziel. Like everybody said Johnny Manziel was like, for God's gift athletically, right? But he obviously didn't study. He obviously didn't work. He obviously didn't, and his career reflected that after college. That to me is an underachiever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even somebody I think of somebody like Joel Embiid, who's never been close to winning a championship, but he's got an MVP. I mean, the injury, he can only control the injury so much, right? Like, you're not supposed to be the 7-1 behemoth and have perfect health, and that's kind of what's fired, the injuries are what backfired for him.
Derrick Rose.
He had a knee injury. That's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? Like
Andrew Bogut.
How do you spell that name?
See, why do we have to do this?
Andrew Bogut?
Same thing.
I believe it was Gosser, actually.
Is he an underachiever? Number 1 pick in the draft? Tony Mandrich? I just think there's underachiever and then there's just not talented.
Yeah. Right? Like,
like Johnny Manziel.
Like, Bogut was fine. I mean, Chris Paul was a part of that Andrew Bogut draft. He went 3.
I also
and he
feel like
developed into somebody great.
Tell me if I'm wrong, Gabe, but like the league started to evolve past the Andrew Bogut style of player during his career.
And he also got undercut in the basket and had a pretty gruesome injury and stuck around in the league for a long time. But yeah, he was never. But also, just because you're the number 1 pick in the draft, if it's a bad draft class, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think, again,
somebody has to be number 1.
The other point that was really strong by Jay Williams there is if you had made it about the team, if you had made it about the franchise, you could argue that the franchise underachieved by not going deep in the postseason, not being able to get back to the NBA Finals, etc. But to lay it at the feet of the guy who's doing everything possible to make it happen?
Clickbait.
Well, because you guys, you talk about this all the time, Chew. When I think of your era of team, right? And they were a fart in the wind. You know, we were just a fart in the wind from Ron Wolf. I don't blame Brett for you guys losing Super Bowl 32.
No.
The biggest thing that you blame is we didn't have Wayne Simmons.
I mean, there's
Gabe Wilkins decided to sit out the game. A starter trying to protect his future in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Decides not to play. Right? Like, there are other factors that go into these team sports.
I think the most frustrating thing that I didn't know in the middle of the game, because you don't really watch defense. You're just in your own world trying to get yourself. I didn't realize they had, what's his name, Davis?
Terrell Davis?
Terrell Davis down.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just step on his throat? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I knew a player had a bad shoulder or something, I'm not like, oh, I won't hit you there. Go to the. This is
Super
big
Bowl.
boy league.
Super Bowl.
You know, it's kind of the Brock Purdy thing where I got in a little bit of trouble for. You know.
Yeah.
I would have been. I'm sorry, but this is the way it goes. I would have been targeting his head. I'm sure boxers, when they see a cut in the eye, they go, oh, I'll hit the other eye. I'll just
Poor
hit
guy.
the other eye.
You know what? I'm gonna work the body this next round.
Yeah.
It looks like you got some stuff happening up here. I'm gonna be a pal and avoid it.
I'm gonna be a gentleman.
So
good conversation. I think that Jay Williams was right on the money, and I'm glad that somebody actually said it. You know, Stephen A. has gotten to be very, very, very big at ESPN, and so I feel like there's a thought that maybe you can't say these things when Stephen A. puts a take out there. I like that Jay Williams had the cojones to say, actually, man, this is your worst take ever. Just happened to be about Giannis as we continue to navigate the nonsense of this offseason. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Be right back after this.
For your next big event, Noble Catering has to be your first call. Southeastern Wisconsin's premier craft caterer, preferred by over 30 venues in the area. And coming in the spring of 2026, Noble's new headquarters, Brixton's Turn, a 400-person event venue located in the heart of Bayview's Harbor District. Have beverage needs for that upcoming party? Neat Beverage Catering offers mobile bartending to elevate that event. And last, but certainly not least, check out the stunning riverfront bar inside Associated Bank River Center Vault, a perfect summer spot, featuring happy hour specials, a menu with tremendous flatbreads, and a raw bar, and of course, an incredible view of the Milwaukee River.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman's Brad Nortman. You hear me talk about Carbless and their refreshing flavors all the time. One of my favorites is watermelon, and Carbless just dropped the Watermelon Vodka Cocktail 4-pack. Perfect for chilling, grilling, or game day thrills. You know the drill. Zero sugar, unlimited flavor. Enjoy clean, crisp refreshment without the guilt. That's what Carbless does. Find the new Watermelon 4-packs wherever you get your Carbless. Crack open the taste of summer and get your bliss on.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves. Are you talking about the One collection? Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart. The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment. The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's. To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
There's two things she counts in the house. One of the pictures. What do you think the other one is?
Firearms.
Viagra.
On 94.5 ESPN.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. For Mental Health Awareness Month, BetterHelp surveyed 16,000 people across 23 countries for its first ever State of Stigma report. Here's what they found. 75% of people believe it is wise to seek support when they're struggling, but only 27% of Americans are actually in therapy. Why the disconnect? Is it tough to find a therapist? Yes. Does it have to be? No. That's where BetterHelp comes in. 35,000 therapists, the world's largest online therapy platform, having served more than 5 million people globally. It's convenient too. You can join a session with the click of a button. It fits right into your busy life, and you can switch therapists at any time. When people hesitate to get help, it doesn't just affect them. It affects their families, their workplaces, their entire communities. And I know I've talked, guys, about how I've done so many stories on families who have been affected by mental health and mental health struggles. It doesn't need to be that way. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout, because we're all better with help. Gabe, it would appear as though Brewers fans disagree with you vehemently. 91% of respondents say that this series against the Cubs down at Wrigley Field is a big B-I-G, capital B-I-G series.
That's okay to be wrong. Well, you still have over half the season left. No 3 games can be all that important.
Right, but the games you play against the Cubs are important.
Still recoverable.
Ish. Yeah, ish.
I mean, we're not at the
Adjacent.
point where they can't recover from it.
What do you think? What is the deficit that you feel like is not recoverable from?
At this point in the season?
Yeah.
10.
Double digits, yeah.
Okay.
Got to be double digits.
So if they get swept in the series, they're down 8.5.
That's still
And then you eyeball
single digits.
eyeball the pizza in the
Well,
trunk.
it's the and a half. I thought maybe we're rounding up.
Which still only gets us 2
I still feel again. I don't think
Nine's
it's
the answer.
catastrophic.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joshy.
Got it.
I don't think it's catastrophic, but I do think it's a big series. I mean, maybe you and I have different interpretations of big, but I disagree. I think this is a big series, and especially because of who they're trotting out there on the hill. You want to be able to slow them down. You want to be able to close the gap. I don't think you want to see the Cubs extend their lead anymore.
So in football, what game would this be? What week?
So we're getting close to the halfway point. So this would give, game 6 or 7.
I don't think there's must wins in week 6 or 7 in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Even division
I just
games.
don't think there are. No.
No,
If
there's,
you're
there's
good,
added emphasis.
if you're a good team,
yeah.
we don't know if you're great. We know they're good. I don't think.
Okay, but what about cumulatively every time you play that team? So again, the only comp in football is playing teams in your division.
Mm-hmm.
If you lose 2 early games in your division and you need to get to win the division or to get the wild card, that puts you behind the 8 ball a little bit as you continue to go on. If they keep losing to the Cubs, that would be a problem, right? We all agree that.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So again,
But it's not like this is the last series against the Cubs.
Yeah.
Totally agree. I just think it is significant. I think it's a big series. I don't think it's
noteworthy.
I call it fun.
It's noteworthy.
Fun
Just make a
because it's
note.
going to be warm here. Is it this weekend that they're playing?
No, it starts today, pal. Next 3 days.
Well, then it's one click below fun.
Because it's not on the
if
weekend.
it was in the weekend, it'd be fun. I'd have it on in the back deck, doing some things,
You won't-
enjoying the weather.
Yeah, but you can turn it on tonight.
I hope to wish my life as blissfully unaware as you do. You just float along. Not a
Well, speaking of which ketchups am I getting? All right, how many is too many for the ketchup line?
I think you got 5. Can we get 5?
Okay, so
What do you
I've
think?
got
or
Heinz.
6.
I can do.
I
I
think
think 5. 6.
6.
Because right now I've got Heinz.
No, 6
Hunt's,
is too many.
Yeah.
You can get little ones. Like you don't have to get like a little serving.
Well, but I'm just saying, like for the big
6.
guy.
So you got to test them.
All right, because I've got Heinz Hunt's generic, Red Gold, and then I was going to do one either Primal Kitchen or Annie's, which is like the organic ketchup.
Yeah, there's a Del Monte also has some.
Oh, Del Monte. Okay, so there those are the 6 for the ketchup lineup on Friday. Make sure your palate is clean on Friday.
You can expect that. For sure you can. Wildy and Tausch is next on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
Southbound 43 is backed up from